I can't find is someone...
Here it goes.
Oh. No, that's not the... Oh, it is a resolution.
It is the
resolution. You know what? It wasn't in the format that I usually see.
I know.
Sorry.
Greg did this.
Okay. Ultimately, the narrative came from Mrs. Reisner and from Mr. Thomas, and essentially the only thing that we will change will be the on the bottom, as Councilwoman Mendocino pointed out, our component is $7,000. What was that, Michelle?
$7,654.
$7,654 instead of $8,000 as our portion to support this program. That being said, I'll entertain a motion to approve the resolution.
I have one more. Wait, and you also have to change the 16,000 to 15,307.
Correct. 15,307, Michelle?
Yes, and then my other question is, do we have money in our budget to do this?
Yes.
We do. Okay.
Yes, it would be in youth programs.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Okay, we'll entertain a motion.
All right, so moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Call the roll.
Gelfarb.
Aye.
Mendocino.
Aye.
Nayaris.
Aye.
Villanova.
Yes. I look forward to seeing another great program. Thank you.
Bye.
Okay. The next resolution is a certiorari for One Gateway Plaza. Mr. Noto.
Actually, I'm going to turn this over to Mitchell.
Very good.
Do we have that?
He negotiated this.
Yeah, I added it on.
Where is it?
Because I received it today.
The next resolution is for settlement of an existing tax certiorari involving One Gateway Plaza, which is the office building located at the corner of South Main Street and Purdy Avenue. I'm sure everybody's quite familiar with it.
Right.
Involves both the building and their parking lot.
Okay, so the building ultimately is 55 South Main Street.
That's correct. Section 14238, Block 2, Lot 12.
And the parking lot is 108 South Main Street?
That's correct. It's Section 14238, Block 1, Lot 35.
Okay, so what can you tell us about this, please?
I can tell you that it's a multi-year settlement. In most years, they did not provide us with any information to even make an analysis.
And that being said, they're still getting a reduction?
Yes. The fact that they don't provide us with any detailed information through the process until the end is, I guess, not bearing on it in the final analysis.
Mr. Noto, in our proposed legislation in New York State, would this have been a different situation?
Well, it would. Well, potentially, we wouldn't have had it go on for 7 years. I mean, that's one thing we would have not had to deal with. We would have filed a note of issue within a year or 18 months. We have an I&E law now. It's of some success. I mean, we're finally getting people to cooperate. But at the end of the day, this is a fair settlement. I mean, based upon what's going on in the economy and the comps that Mitch has to work with, this is fine.
And all stakeholders are in on this, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, any questions from the council?
No.
No.
I'll entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
No moved.
Have a second.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Gelfarb.
Thank you.
Aye.
Mendocino.
Aye.
Nayaris.
Aye.
Villanova.
Yes. Okay, Mitch, you might as well stay there for the reports for the assessor.
Nothing to report.
Nothing to report. Very good. Finance Department, Mr. Byrnes.
Just one quick item. It's a little early, but the town's budget process, this is just a quick calendar, starts officially October 1st, so it's sorry to give you the bad news, the summer's almost ending, but this is...
Thanks, Dave. Just so we want to hear.
So this is just for your reference, and this is the process, and the final budget will be adopted at the final meeting of the year, which is scheduled for December 20th, unless that changes, but that's the last date for the adoption of the 2012 budget.
Very good.
That's it.
All right. The tax receiver, Mr. Mecca. I was trying to say Nicholas Mecca, and it came out Mecca.
I was going to call me late for dinner. I'm happy.
Definitely not. Good to see you, Nick.
Honorable Deputy Supervisor Villanova, members of the Town Council, as Mr. Villanova says, my name is Nicholas Mecca, 45 Alto Avenue, Portchester. I am privileged to be the receiver of taxes. Just 2 points I want to bring to your attention this evening. Mr. Byrnes and Mr. Noto and myself are working very diligently on outstanding taxes. We hope for the next meeting to have not only a list of the ones that are eligible for foreclosure, and I believe we will have started proceedings by that time on them. And we'll also have the figures of the 2010, which are a year behind in taxes, available for you. Of that, I'm not happy to say that 2010 figure is going to show an awful lot of money owed by very few people. And I think this is what we're going to have to address once those figures are all in place and see. I know by law we can only do certain things, but maybe we can come to the table with these people and discuss something or whatever. Next, before we meet again, the school bill will be out in the mail sometime around September 1st. So if you are responsible for your school taxes, please be looking for the bill, because, you know, the delinquent rates on the school penalties is very steep. So everyone, please, if you are responsible for your taxes, make sure by the 6th or 7th of September that you have the bill in hand. If you don't, please contact us. Okay, any questions other than that for me?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Have a good evening.
You too.
You too. Okay, Mr. Nardi. I'm sorry, Town Attorney?
Nothing to report.
Very good. Mr. Nardi, I do that. I was
I yield my time to Mr. Nardi.
Very good. Superintendent of Highways, Mr. Nardi.
All right. Hello, everybody. I got a call from yesterday. I got a call from McNeese controller saying that they wanted a work order. So we had a work order drawn up, and they wanted their bid number, what the town's going to pay them. So we had to send that out again today. They were supposed to start on Monday, but they canceled because of the rain and stuff. It's delaying their other project that they're doing. I'm waiting for a phone call back from him to find out when they're going to start. I'm hoping they're going to start right after Labor Day.
Is that going to affect our permits?
It shouldn't, but I have a call. I have also sent an email to Brian from Onman Kirby, so I'll get in touch with him tomorrow. But I don't think it's going to affect your permits, because I believe those are a year standing, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
So it shouldn't be a problem. And the lane closure, we're going to be closing down one lane on the bridge. I checked with Village of Mamaroneck, with the highway department there. They only need like a 2-day notice, which is not a problem.
Okay.
All right. And that's it.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Park Foreman, Mr. DeLeo.
Good evening, Mr. Deputy Supervisor and Town Council. Happy to report that the stockade fence for the dumpster is completed. Global Fencing did a beautiful job. Took them 2 days to complete the process. 3 dumpsters are locked in the stockade area, and each member of my staff has a key for the gate, the 2 gates for the dumpster, so nobody can dump anymore without using their key. And so far, so good. The village is having an easier time dumping the garbage now, and there's no construction material in the dumpsters. There's no tires in there, so it's just strictly our garbage from the parties or for the camp. So far we're on the right track.
Good. What else can you tell us?
We're getting ready for the the fall season. I'm putting a fall winter project list together for painting inside Crawford Park or 10 Pearl Street, and the first floor, the bathrooms need to be redone, as well as various other projects, in the town properties.
Very good. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
Any questions for Frank from the council? No. Okay. Comments from the council people? Mr. Gelfarb.
Yes. Recently, there was an article in the Wall Street Journal on a Saturday, about 2-3 Saturdays ago, about our local airport, and that story raised some considerable concern within the community because, among other things, it depicted that JetBlue in particular was landing planes that were beyond the scope of what was allowed under an approximately, I believe it was 2003 resolution that our county legislature had enacted. And I believe the plane is called the A320, and it was clear that that plane was beyond what was allowed under the resolution. As a result of work done by Ms. Marcia Teschner, that's Teschner, it came to her attention that this was going on, and she raised a hue and cry about it. And as a result, JetBlue has now withdrawn that plane from service at Westchester County Airport. This was explained in the Wall Street Journal, and really it was pretty much kept a secret for over a year that this was going on. At the same time, she's come into knowledge of various other developments that are going on at the airport, which in substance constitute an expansion of the footprint of the airport. And back in the day of this resolution, around 2003, it was understood that there would be no expansion of the airport and there would be no expansion of its footprint. Some of the folks at home and in the audience here may remember that back around 2002 there was a major push to expand the de-icing facility at the airport. And as a result of community outrage, really, and a lot of community work, community organizing amongst folks in Rybrook, Greenwich, Harrison, and a lot of local areas, that plan was cut back tremendously. Among other issues, the airport is very, very close to the reservoirs which supply New York City's drinking water, and it's fair to say that in this day and age, an airport would never be built so close to such heavily populated areas or to a major drinking water supply. As a result of her discoveries, it really, I believe, is imperative that there be some sort of an explanation afforded to the town of Rye, and because we really, as residents of Portchester, Rybrook, and Mamaroneck are among the closest people, along with Purchase and Greenwich, to the airport of anybody. And what I'd like to do for the September meeting is ask that Ms. Teschner, County Legislator Rogowski, and several persons from the Westchester County government, in particular the Department of Transportation, who have oversight responsibility for the airport, come here and explain in the nature of a community forum what is going on at the airport and how it was that this really overlarge plane was allowed to conduct operations for over a year. Might also add that JetBlue I believe it's JetBlue is now running flights to out of the country to the Bahamas, and that also is something of interest. That now the airport is going to, in effect, be an international airport. You may also be aware that the parking situation has greatly expanded at the airport. Now SUNY Purchase is being used as in effect a garage for the airport. And while that may not breach the spirit, this may not breach the letter of the agreement, it certainly is questionable as to whether it breaches the spirit. So again, I'd like the council to join with me, Mr. Deputy Supervisor and council members, in inviting Legislator Rogowski, Ms. Teschner, and various interested parties from the Department of Transportation at the county level to come to our September meeting and explain what is going on with respect to airport operations.
Councilman Gelfarb, I don't know if this may be before your time, but I think that Councilwoman Mendocino will remember. Supervisor Morbido, actually at the time, he opened up, it was either our meeting or he held a meeting at Crawford Park.
Middle school.
Actually, at the middle school.
That actually is the first time I ever heard of the town of Rye government, and the first time I ever was aware of the interest in the airport. It was at the middle school.
So herein lies, I remember, herein lies the one obstacle. This room here is not going to be abundant enough to hold the people if people come out for this meeting. I think that the board will probably fully support that we host a meeting. Being a municipality affected, I mean, our services are impacted for the village of Portchester and Rybrook. Emergency services are first responders to the airport. So this is a prime location. I would support a meeting, Councilman Gelfar, but I would, Michelle, it was a pretty well-attended meeting, right?
Yeah.
So we may need to look to the middle school to have that as a venue. Mr. Nowotnik, is that something we can look into?
Sure.
All right.
Middle school or high school.
Middle school or high school.
Both auditoriums are
right. So it'll be one or the other. Middle school, and it's something that and so anyway, I guess with as long as the members of the board are supportive of this, having this venue, I think that could we collectively give Bishop the endorsement to look into a meeting?
Are we going to have it on the same night as our board meeting? No. Okay.
question I was going to ask.
Yeah.
So I think it should be on another night. I mean, obviously, if the town of Rye is hosting it, we should be able to be there. So if you could get back to us and let us know some available dates. Doesn't have to be on schedule with our meetings, but we need to have enough time to notify the public of the venue.
And a 7 o'clock start date, time rather?
Yeah,
that would be fine.
I think that's actually a great time. It gives people the opportunity to come to a meeting.
And about how long do you think this would be?
Gotta give it a couple hours.
2 hours?
Yeah, that's it. Let's not make it go too long.
Okay. Anything else, Councilman Gelfar?
No.
All right. Councilwoman Mendocino?
I just wanted to know, since the day last meeting we passed our maintenance contract, did the Rye-Town Park Commission also pass that piece of the contract?
Michelle, you're spot on. Tonight.
Aren't I always?
You are. Very good. Okay, so I'll speak to that right now. Tonight during the Rye-Town Park Commission meeting, it was unanimous. There was an endorsement from the commission to go forward with the landscape contract and the contractor that the town of Rye ultimately has selected through the process. The Rye-Town Park Commission noted the amount of effort and the transparency in the process by which we went through it, and I think that made their decision a lot easier. So I want to thank this board as well as Bishop Nowotnik for and obviously Attorney Noto for the manner by which we vetted the vendors. I know that it really didn't happen as fast as Councilwoman Mendocino and myself wanted it to happen, but our product was so clean and so transparent that the Rye-Town Park Commission ultimately saw the value, and so they endorsed it.
Perfect. So now, at some point, we need to sit down together as a group and decide what our plan's going to be, because I know Bishop had given us two plans, A and B, and just wondered when we would discuss that.
Yeah, I think that's what'll happen. We hope to start September 1. The contract is in the attorney for Greenway's hands now, and I think in the course of September, I think staff will come forward with some recommendations as to how to proceed, and then the next big step would probably take place during the budget process, which would then take effect January 1st with the new budget. But if we're going to be making any more significant changes, that'll happen during the budget.
I think that's actually the perfect recommendation, is that let's get the contractor on board, make sure that we're running at 100%. It appears that through Foreman DeLeo's recommendation tonight that he's anticipating that there's going to be some free time for some staff away from landscaping. He's going to focus them on facilities maintenance, and that will be good. So, anything else, Bishop?
No, thank you.
Councilman Norris? No comment. Okay. I have actually no comment other than the Rye-Town Park Commission meeting tonight was very insightful. There's a lot of intricacies between the town of Rye and Rye-Town Park, and the processes that we've placed and the standards by which we're operating here really transcend right into the Rye Town Park Commission. So it's making the management of both operations a lot better, and we were ultimately congratulated tonight again by the City of Rye and the transparency and the focus that we have on running a good, clean business, for lack of a better term. So that being said, and no further comments from the public or the board, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second. Call roll, please.
Gilfard.
Aye.
Mendocino.
Aye.
Mayorkas.
Aye.
Villanova.
Yes. Thank you very much and have a good night.